Hello and welcome to Money, 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 your weekly personal finance date with me, Surabhi Upadhyay. It's that time of the year again when we're all going on a summer holiday. Yes, summer means travel, vacation and that much-needed break. But it is important to make sure that you remain money-wise even as you let your hair down at your favorite holiday destination. So this week, Amit Taneja, Chief Revenue Officer at ClearTrip, and Adil Shetty, CEO and co-founder BankBazaar.com, join me on the show to help you draw up a smart holiday plan. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking out the time and joining us on the show.
Pleasure.
So let me start with the first things first. I don't know, have you taken a break this season or are you planning one, Amit?
We're definitely planning one. There's a school holidays about to start. There's a pressure from family which is always there. You know, that always means you're sending people for holidays. When are we going for holidays?
So Adil, I know you're very money-wise. What about that travel and holiday?
So I have a vacation planned which is coming May 20th. And in fact, been thinking through the same questions that we're going to discuss today as to how do you plan and how do you ensure even when you're there you spend it properly.
Well, great. Then it sets the stage. So let's just get some basic travel trends out of the way, Amit. And you deal with this, you know, up close at ClearTrip. I mean, Indians are traveling like never before, but sort of what are the popular destinations today? And is it more international travel you see in this phase or, I mean, long weekends and domestic travel? Is that the bigger trend?
So, yeah, I mean, you're very, very right. Indians are traveling much more than they've ever done before. And I remember, you know, when we were growing up, summer holidays used to be going to the grandparents, used to be the mother side one year and the father side the other year. That's changing now, and people, you know, it's because of the work pressure, just generally, you know, the disposable income being increasing. We've seen Indians are traveling both, you know, domestic as well as we sort of seeing that the trip duration for domestic trips is getting shorter and shorter. People are taking more and more shorter but more breaks. International also we're seeing the, you know, similar trend, and there are people who sort of taking about 2 to 3 bigger international breaks. But I think still, you know, international still sort of continues to be a once in a 2 or 3 years sort of holiday, even though the short hauls like the Southeast Asian, Middle East are, you know, because of the connectivity getting cheaper. And I think that there are the more and more Indian travelers are now flocking into the Thailands and the Dubais. Yeah.
Well, so there are lots of destinations to cover. The question is, Zabin, how do you plan for it? How do you manage your finances? So the basic question, Adil, first up. We live in a consumerist age, so where people tell you to go out, follow your dream, travel and all that's great. But is there a thumb rule to the amount of money you can actually spend on a vacation?
I think it really depends on your personal preferences. We say that typically you should save 10 to 20% of your net disposable income. But I think we should come up with a formula for how much you can spend on a vacation. I think the important thing is twofold. One is how do you save money for the trip? Whether you're going domestic or international, how do you save money? And the second part, if you're going international, how do you spend it? Because domestic, you spend it like you normally spend in your hometown. But when you travel international, there's a difference in how you spend wisely. And that needs to be discussed.
Okay, but I mean, given the propensity to travel and, you know, you can make a plan which is sort of a shoestring budget to something far more lavish. Would you say that, you know, is it okay to leverage for a holiday, or would you, I mean, rather spend through your savings rather than sort of spend on leverage?
Good question, Surabhi. So when we come to the first question as to how do we save money for that holiday, right? I think we have two options. One option is to save. So to save, what you do is you save money every month and put it away, knowing that in May or in June, you have your summer vacation coming up and it's going to cost 3 lakhs. Now, there are multiple ways to save, right? So you can do it on a mutual fund. You can do it on a fixed deposit. You can also do it today with savings account, which are giving 6-7% interest rate. And the beauty of it is all of it is available online. So we allow people, for example, online, even on BankBazaar, to come online and get all this information to do it completely online. Now, the second part is if you don't have the money, what are your options to leverage, right? So you can either look at a personal loan. The thing about personal loans is interest rates vary from 11% to 20%, depending on who you are, where you work, how much money you make, have you taken loans before, so on and so forth. And that's one option to consider. But given a choice, right, I think one should save before one spends on that holiday.
Okay, we're going to talk about these different options, particularly options that involve borrowing money or leveraging basically to plan your vacation. We'll come down to the specifics in just a bit. But Amit, your thoughts on the basic question of funding it. It's great to choose a destination and a wonderful, cozy hotel, but just the thought on funding and the trends that you see.
That's a very sort of individual preference in terms of how they should be funding. In terms of, preference on us, whether people are, and we do offer sort of EMI option to our customers in partnership with certain banks. We've sort of seen that not more than about 3 to 4% of our customers sort of opting for that. And that number has been fairly flat over the last 3 to 4 years that we've been extending that option. So we're not sort of seeing any particular trend that more and more people are sort of, using the borrowed funds to use for their holidays, or people are sort of money, and we've seen that over the last 3 to 4 years in terms of the penetration or the usage of debit cards is on increase. Credit card has been anywhere, so that today contributes to about close to about 62% of all our transactions on our site are with credit card. But there's a debit
62%.
card. 62%.
Okay.
There's a debit card and net banking number which has sort of been increasing over the last 3 to 4 years. So I think, in terms of particular trend, I think it's very hard for us to sort of say that, whether
but you do see
more
more transactions happening via the debit route.
That's right.
Rather than the credit
the
route.
debit and the net banking routes is sort of increasing.
All right, but of course you mentioned the options of doing these EMI packages, and you can of course go to your bank and take a personal loan. You can drop a loan against securities. There's a whole gamut of options out there when it comes to borrowing money to go on that holiday. Which would be the smartest option? We'll talk about that on the other side of the break.